There we go, 6-1 done. 5:51. I'd say that's about right into this. That was nuts. So here we go, 2 weeks until London Marathon. I can't believe it, it's crazy. So this is the last big long run that we've got. Let me roll through fueling, all of that good stuff. Route, plan, and anything else. Fuel is going to be Morton 160 and 100. Those two gels work well. I have those every hour. That's getting me just over 60 grams of carbs. Been testing that for the last few weeks and that is going down a treat. I did try 2 160 gels in the beginning. I felt sick. It felt a bit too much. That's something my goal is to work towards that. Clearly not going to be in this marathon training block, so we need to stick with what works, which is the 160 and the 100. So that's going to be fueling. I've also got Ketone IQ, as per I have the last few weeks. That stuff is amazing. I'm going to be taking it every 45 minutes and 1 hour 30, so that's why I'm going to have it out there. And then in terms of the run itself, 80 minutes moderate, and then I'm going to kick into 8 times 3 on 3 off, and then I'm going to finish with 30 moderate. So it's a carbon copy of what I did 2 weeks before Newport Marathon. Difference is I went to Beachley on a flat concrete loop with Matt, the Welsh runner, and I ran super fast and I was in super good shape. Today I'm going to be out on the windy trails, so it's not going to be anywhere near the same in terms of pacing and stuff, but I am going to do something a bit fun. I'm going to find a new loop to do. I'm going to do something different. And then when I kick into the 8x3 on 3 off, the first part of it will probably be on the trails, and then I might finish the second half of it on the concrete, or I might stick to the trails. I'll see where I am on the loop. I'll talk more about that when we get out there. Just do something slightly different today, just refresh the mind. I'm just excited. The last long run, it's unbelievable that we've got round to this point, so I don't want to do anything sort of boring and the same as I have done all the other time. I can do something a little bit different today. So that's the plan, that's the fueling, that's the run itself. Let's get this underway. Oh, and by the way, of course, I'm bringing my friend along, the wind, which has been here all the damn time. We're about to get some very strong 40 mile an hour gusts on today's run, which according to the weather is meant to start in about 10 minutes. Alright, so here we go then, just about 1.5 miles in, turned at the college, out to the trails now, and yeah, we're going to have some fun on this one. Not sure if you can hear, the wind is strong, so yeah, that's going to keep us company today. My plan is I'm going to do a reversed cycle track loop, so I'm going to be going up the big hill, but I'm going to be tagging bits on around the outside of it to make it just a bit more interesting, a bit more exciting, because realistically, if I do an autumn marathon like Abingdon, this is the last big-ish long run I'm going to do until late end of summer, so I want to have a bit of fun today. So yeah, I'm going to head out to the trails, and where I normally jump on the cycle track, we're going to take a right and jump on some other nice trails. Lovely trail here, lovely trail. So normally what I'd be doing by now is there's a bit of a hill there, I'd be the other side of that hill flying down the cycle track, but today, yeah, just running along the outside in the pit lane if you want to call it that. We wiggle about a bit, a few ups, few downs, just a few little challenges, just do something different. So how do I feel after this week of training? Well, I'm naturally very happy with the session. That was the last video, hope you guys saw that. Yeah, just buzzing, to be honest. Feeling that I'm getting back into a gear. I'm not in top gear, but I'm nearly there. I'm getting there. Heart rate right now, relatively decent, 148, which is where I want to be, but we are at the start. it's going to climb. Back at my fittest, it would have been like low 140s around now, and then had room to climb up into the late 140s, nearly 150s. But overall, such a massive improvement. Sweating a lot today. It's warm, 12 degrees when I left the house at 9:30, trying to simulate London a bit, because my wave is the Blue Wave 1, and I start at 10:01 or 10:02 or something, which is later than last year. Why we have to start so late, why we can't start an earlier time, I have no idea. It's so silly. For such a big marathon, why would you put people running through the middle of the day when you know the chances are it's going to be warm? So yeah, it's a bit annoying, but I'm sure a lot of you share the same sentiment, and I'm sure a lot of you are just like, shut up man, stop moaning. So I'm trying to replicate that a bit today by going out a bit later, and it's good practice. Legs feel okay. Should be, if we complete today, another 70-mile week, exactly what I wanted. And I'll continue the start of next week as normal, and then bring it down with 10 days to go. Alright, so just over 17 minutes in, come up the big hill, pace went from 6:45 per mile to 6:57, so we're clawing it back, but I feel good. I'm really grateful to my wife actually for giving up her morning to deal with the kids so that I can come out at this time, because it's really beneficial. Sweating loads, much warmer than all the other long runs I've done, and it's what I need. I just want to start getting used to this. So 10 minutes until we kick into gear. First couple of reps are going to be uphill, so nothing fancy there, working on effort, and then I think the next 2 or 3 will be on the trails before we hit the concrete. Okay, the end of the hill is just there, and I've got just over 1.25 minutes, so I'm going to be a bit naughty and wait till I get to the top to start this one. So it'll just be over 80 minutes, but that's been a good first chunk. Feeling pretty good. Right, let's go. I went 1 minute 45 over. That's fine. Let's hit these 3 minutes now. Alright, first one done. The joys of the forest. 5:58 per mile. Halfway it said 7:15 per mile. I hit the lat button and the pace went down. So you've just got to trust effort when you're out here. It sort of pivoted around 7:15 and then slowly crept back down and registered at 5:58. So I know I was working way harder. Hopefully as the canopy opens up, we'll get some better signal. Right, I'm just stopping for 30 seconds, see if this thing picks up signal. I was flying down there at 5:30, 5:35, and it pinged back up to 6:04, went up to 6:30, and back down to 6:04, so GPS is obviously an issue today. There we go, third one done. 6:54 per mile apparently, slower than the moderates I've been running. So what I'll do is I'll do the fourth one and then I'll be out of the forest by then. So I'll stop the watch, start a new run and do the second half of it as a separate activity. Okay, 4 done. I won't bother stopping it. That one was 6:16 I think, and I was tracking 5:20s for 2 minutes of that, and I turned up a steep hill to get out onto the road and it went 6:16, so whatever. They're vanity splits. I know how hard I'm working. The last 4 now out on the estate. Just clarifying for you, mid-rep 7:20 per mile. This is 7:20 per mile apparently. I'd say it's more like 5:20s, but you know, good old GPS. I'm not bitter or anything. There we go. 5:41 in the end. It plummeted in the last minute. So, yeah, as you can now see, big headwind on the estate. Number 6 is going to be right into it. There we go, 6th one done. 5:51, 5:52, 5:53-ish. I'd say it's about right into this. That was nuts. Really don't know what's going on today. At rep 7, tailwind, 6:38. I was running in the 5:40s for the first minute, and then boom, it just went up and up and up. So who knows? Last one. There we go, 6:05 for that last one. Oh my word, I have been done dirty today by GPS, but do you know what? In terms of how I feel on a serious note, all jokes aside, it's been a good one. It's been really good. Don't get me wrong, I'd have loved a confidence booster like I had 2 weeks before Newport last time, which was like 6:30s for the moderates, low 5-teens for the reps. I was out at the Beachley Loop with Matt, it was raining, it was cold, it was perfect, and that gave me massive confidence. Today, completely the other end of the spectrum, hot, windy, trails, no super shoes, and GPS that just doesn't want to play ball. But I will, as I just reiterated, say that I felt good today and I feel good now. And what have we done? We're to 19.3 miles, 2 hours 14 minutes, 6:58 per mile. I mean, that's criminal. 6:58 per mile is much faster, but you know what, let's just get this done, get this moderate done, and wrap this one up. Feel good.
And just like that, this London Marathon training block is slowly coming to an end. That is the last big long run that I have on the plan, and delighted to get it done really. Delighted to feel as good as I did. The last 2 or 3 miles I did suffer a little bit after in that final 30 moderate. It wasn't moderate, it ended up being easy. But all through the reps I felt really good. The wind was beating me down a little bit, as you can see by the video. But overall, considering it was a lot warmer than what it was, I felt like I handled it well. I fueled well. Once again, the Morton 160 and 100 did the trick, and that's really good. I feel settled with that strategy now. As for the GPS, I know I said it didn't bother me, but you could see that I kept mentioning it, so it was bothering me. And the reality is that when the summer comes around and the tree canopies are thick, GPS in the forest is an absolute nightmare. And that run was just highlighting the fact of what's to come. Like, I've got plenty more of those runs to come. If you zoom in on the trace on the map, at certain points you'll see, especially after mile 7 or 8, you'll see it goes haywire all over the place. And yeah, just a little bit frustrating. Would have been nice to have seen really what I was doing for those efforts. I suspect for a lot of them it was in the 540s, 550s. There was one downhill, one where I was doing 520s. But otherwise, I think we're in and around there. That's where it felt, and I'm feeling pretty good about that overall. So just a small matter now of 2 more weeks to go. Crazy to think I started this journey 20 weeks ago, but we are very nearly there. One more long run, a 5k race at Bristol Track Club on Saturday, and then just try and get through Ilfrey until the big day. And I'll be keeping an eye on that weather as well. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider giving it a like, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and I'll see you on the next one.